各位嘉宾、各位同
Dear
行，
distinguished guests, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to our BARC 2022, and welcome to our parallel session. The topic is advances in chemical utilization and application of bamboo. So the organizer of this event is the International Center for Bamboo and Rattan, and the co-organizers are the Research Institute of Chemical Utilization of Bamboo and Rattan, as well as Shenzhen Gold Basin Limited. So with bamboo is becoming an important material, the chemical utilization and application of bamboo has shown great potential. So through this forum, we'd like to start a communication platform that gathers the scholars, experts, and entrepreneurs around the world, and also to facilitate the application and development of bamboo in biomedicine development and so on. So we have invited 4 guests to give a speech. And first of all, we'd like to invite Mr. Feng Ruiguo to give us the opening remark. Welcome.
尊敬的各位来宾，各位参会代表，
Dear distinguished guests, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So yesterday, it was the 25th anniversary of the BARC, and we are really honored and pleasant to receive the note from President Xi Jinping. And here we are gathering at this parallel session to talk about the advances in chemical utilization and application of bamboo. So first of all, I'd like to extend my warm welcome and also deep gratitude on behalf of ICBR. And ICBR was established in July 2000, and it is affiliated to the Ministry of Forestry, and it is actually providing support and also scientific research. And we are making consistent efforts to face the world to develop with the priority of bamboo and rattan, as well as other natural materials. Within our center, there are 6 research institutes, and also we have a major laboratory at national level. And currently we have received 16 rewards at national level. Among them, we have the demonstration project, which won the awards for the scientific and the technological progress. And we have drafted a blueprint that fills the gap for the genomic research with bamboo, and we have already achieved major breakthroughs. And also we have offered a structure that also supports the development of BARC. And with our center, we have been paying special priority to the internal as well as international exchange and cooperation. For example, we have partnership with universities and research institutions with more than 10 renowned universities in US, Switzerland. And the production of bamboo is closely relevant to our daily life, which include food, clothing, and traveling. Also, the application of bamboo in terms of medicinal and also food use. As far as 1,800 years ago, we already created a favorable bamboo beverage for ethnic groups. And also, in many of the classics for medicine, all include the record for the bamboo leaves. and also bamboo stems. With the advanced research with the bamboo chemical utilization, we have already successfully applied it to different scenarios, and we have formed a strategically new field. And bamboo has also become a major, primary material for the production of paper. And the production volume has exceeded 2.42 million ton, with over 2 million RMB revenue generated. In 2014, the C-glycosylated flavone was included as a raw material for medicine production. And several ingredients, including bamboo leaves, have already passed the certification. And we have expanded the use of the material by taking bamboo as raw material. And this has been exported to over 70 countries and regions. And so, although we have achieved major breakthrough in terms of the chemical utilization, but compared with the entire bamboo industry, the total production volume was 320 billion RMB in 2021. And so that means this industry has shown great potential. And so today, with the second BARC forum, we have the honor to invite the well-known experts and also elites and entrepreneurs. We have gathered the talents together and the valuable resources. We want to achieve a fruitful result with our communication today, and to expand our view and also to spark new ideas and wisdom in order to make further breakthroughs and contributions to the research and development of chemical utilization. And we'd also work together with our partner universities and institutions to contribute our efforts and wisdom. And I'm really looking forward to a feast with knowledge and wisdom. And due to the pandemic situation, actually, we have to change the form of this meeting from offline meeting to an online meeting. And so I hope that this will have no negative effects to your enthusiasm. And I'd like to wish a great success to our forum. And also, I would wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you, Director Chen, for your remarks. And Mr. Chen has shown a really high expectation towards our meeting today. And hopefully, through our exchange program and also our discussion, we can actually live up to the expectation of Mr. Chen. And let's move on to our agenda. And first of all, I'd like to invite Professor Zhao Lingguo from Nanjing Forestry University. The topic is the biopreparation of structural modification of characteristic the glycosylated flavones from bamboo leaves. He is actually a tutor for doctoral students and level 2 professor, and he's also a chairman for the Standing Committee of Food and Forestry. And he is actually one of the 6 Talent Peak Highland Talent Selection Program. And also he is a leading talent in Jiangsu Province. He has long been engaged in the research and development of natural activities and also the biological structural research. And he has selected different cloud-collated materials and has already made breakthroughs in major technologies. including the structural modification. In the past decade, he has led the National Research Fund and also many major projects, including 25 of them at principal and national level. And he has released over 160 papers, and he has achieved patents registered at national level, and he has got 6 rewards at national level. And among them, the high efficiency utilization of natural material has also won the second prize of the Award for Progress in Science and Technology. And so we would like to give the floor to Professor Zhao to give us a remarkable speech. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. And dear experts, dear distinguished guests, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizer to have this great honor to communicate and to share with you on this platform. I'll share my screen with you first. So could everyone see my screen now? So what I'd like to share with you is the biopreparation and structural modification of characteristic C-glycosylated flavone from bamboo leaves. And so actually, Professor Tang has already given a informative introduction about me, and I would go directly to my research. And so my research mainly focus on the research of the research and development of bioactive substance. So as we know, the bamboo is a kind of Manicotiledonous Graminia plant, and it includes several different kinds of active compounds, such as flavonoids and phenolic acids. Among them, the glycosylated flavonoids is the most important active substance. And currently, after our inspection, we have found aurantin, S-aurantin, vitxin, and isovatconsin that can be extracted and also identified from bamboo leaves. And actually, there are 2 types of flavone. And the one that can be found in the plants are mainly the oxygen-based glycosylated flavonoids. But actually, the CG is different because it is actually shows a low concentration and complex composition. So compared with the OG, it is much more stable. But the challenge we are seeing is about the preparation of the CG. Although it could be extracted from the plants, but actually the source is quite limited, and also the production is very low. So the problem that we are facing is about how to produce the large-scale and low-cost CG. And the production of glycosylated or methylated flavonoids has become a talking point in the field. And because we can see that the glycosylation can actually improve the stability and the bioactivity of flavonoids, and the methylation of the flavonoids can improve their liposolubility and the metabolic stability. So we believe the production of CG will become a popular topic And so what is the major difference about the development and utilization of natural bioactive compound? The most important problem we need to tackle is about how to keep the stability and the activity, and how not to depend on the plant resources. So generally speaking, for the natural bioactive compounds, we can do the artificial modification. And at present, we are mainly adopting the chemical method and the biotransformation. And the preparation of natural bioactive compounds mainly adopts the extraction from plants and self-engineering, and also chemical synthesis and biosynthesis. And here you can see it is a major method. So the synthetic biology shows a severe or a most evident advantage, which is environmentally friendly and more efficient. And so in this afternoon, I will mainly be sharing with you about three types of contents. I will mainly be sharing about my ideas and what we are doing, and also our achievements, because I know this is not a technical meeting, so I will not go into the details. And so as you can see, the S-ornithine is a major type of the CG. If we could actually produce it through synthetic method, it can reduce the cost. And also we could do the structural modification. So what will affect the soluble express? It is mainly the key enzymes, the different enzymes, the size, and also the soluble expression, as I said, and also the metabolic process. And the goal of this kind of research is to optimize the major or the key enzymes and to provide the favorable process for the metabolic process, and to control the supply of the glucose in order to improve the production of the CG. And so the first step is to clone the S-ornithine. And we have successfully improved the soluble express of the glucosylation. And in this regard, we have also created a technique with a lower temperature. And the results shows, so the best strategy is to induce it for 6 hours and then adding the luteolin. And at this level, the accumulation of the acetic acid is relatively lower. So what we have created is the source of the accumulation of the acetic acid and a reduction in the S-ornithine production. And with the favorable condition, we can see the production of S-ornithine can be improved to 1,166 milligram per liter. And so this is actually a satisfying result. And after that, we have further optimized it, which could actually increase it to 1,371 milligram per liter. And with our technology, on the basis of this optimal transformation condition for the transformation of littering to the S-ornithine, we managed to prepare the S-ornithine from fermentation broths, and the concentration rate can be up to 95%. And so this is mainly what I'd like to share with you. And the second one is the one-pot enzymatic cascade for the CG in vitro. And the ornithine and the latexin production by a one-pot enzymatic cascade for the glycotransferase and the sucrase synthesis. And so this is what we call the GMSU. It catalyzes the production of UDP glucose and the fructose from the sucrose and UDP. And with the optimization of this catalytic process, we have solved two different problems. And with the effort of this different technology, and so this is a relatively high production volume. And this is quite high compared to the other method for the preparation of the CG flavone. And here we also try to prepare the ornithine and the latexin, so the major kind of flavones can be produced. And this table also shows the effects of the enzyme's concentration on the ornithine production rate and also the latexin production rate. And we have done a lot of optimization method, and it can be concluded that we have successfully tackled this problem, and we also adjusted the volume of the mg used. And with these two different compounds, the highest amount of ornithine and latexin reached 7,030 milligram per liter and 5,050 milligram per liter respectively. So this efficiently biocatalytic cascade provides a widely available approach for the producing of ornithine and latexin via a environmentally safe process. And the highest one is about 7 grams per liter. And then the third part of our research is about the preparation of the 3-O-methyl S-ornithine by the enzymatic methylation and the glycosylation. So how do we further improve the activity of it? It's about to improve the liposolubility. And we have adopted a biostructural modification technology. And for example, the preparation of the isoornithine, it could be changed to the 3-oxygen methyl isoornithine. And for the substrate specificity of the enzyme, a biosynthetic strategy of the methylation followed by glycylation was designed. And several O-methyltransferase were screened for the producing of the oxygen methylated lutein and the biosynthesis strategy. And so our problem is to screen and also to select the correct enzyme and to optimize the property of it. And in the end, we have found the best one, the best candidate, which is the PFOMT. And the structural modification calls for the supply because apart from the glycosylation, we need to find a way to generate it in vitro and which reduce the cost for the synthesis.
这个酶，那么这个甲基供体就是我刚才讲的 S 腺苷 L。
And just as I mentioned, the S-adenose L-methionine synthesis pathway was reconstructed in the recombinant strain by introducing the S-adenose L-methionine synthesis genes. And so this is the optimizing of the bioconversion condition for the biosynthesis of the 3-oxygen methyllutein. And the optimal transformation temperature was 30 Celsius degrees. And the concentration was 0.2 millimeter. And the optimal transformation timing was the addition of substrate 3 hours after the induction. And the biosynthesis of the 3-oxygen methyl S-ornithine from the lutein by the selecting of it with or the CG motif. The corresponding molar conversion can be up to 98%, and the production rate 226 milligram per liter. So above are what I'd like to introduce to you, and I would like to give you a short summary as the conclusion, because due to the time limit, actually I couldn't touch on the specific points because it might be too specific and it might be not be your specialized field. So I will now show you the major outcomes. So the first thing that I shared with you is the construction of a recombinant bacteria for producing isoornithine and the optimization of transformation condition. So an efficient isoornithine synthesis pathway and a novel UDP glucose synthesis pathway were constructed in recombinant E. coli strain. It provides a new pathway for the glycosylation of other flavonoids and bioactive substances, which are significantly meaningful. And the second one is the one-pot enzymatic cascade for the classical flavones in vitro. So an efficient biocatalytic cascade were developed to reduce ornithine and vitexin by modulating catalytic efficiency of the TCCGT and GMSUS. And we have successfully these 4 different type of flavones, and the production of them has reached 7.09, 5.05, 3.82, and 3.77 respectively, and the maximum number of the UDP glucose regeneration circles reached 28.4 for the isoorientin and 29.1 for the isovaxitin. And thirdly, it is about the preparation and the activity of the 3-oxygen methyl isoorientin by enzymatic methylation and glycosylation. So we used the biocatalytic cascade and also provided an effective method for the biosynthesis. And so I'd like to thank you again. I'd like to thank the Ministry of Science and Technology of People's Republic of China, as well as National Natural Science Foundation of China. And also I'd like to extend my special gratitude to Professor Tang Feng from ICBR. And I'd also like to thank Professor Feng and Professor Pei for your support, as well as our doctoral students. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your excellent presentation. And Professor Zhao focused on the ecological preparation, its features, its outstanding characteristics, as well as 3 major parts about his work in progress, about the flavonoid, as well as the transformation and coordination strategy, and also the individual preparation of the flavonoid, as well as many other aspects. Well, thank you very much about presenting your and making your presentation about your progress of your project. And well, since we are an online session, we won't have a Q&A after each and every presentation. And next, we will invite the second expert to deliver his reports. And the second speaker is Mr. Wang Jin, a professor and researcher of ICBA, graduating from China Forestry University in 2002. And he studied in the American Southern University as a visiting professor, and he has also worked for Couraging company in the United States for the combination of natural composites. And he has also been dedicating to the medical research and studies, as well as the green preparation and technology. And he has presented over and participated in national and provincial, as well as ministerial level projects, more than dozens of them, and released a lot of papers, about 70 of them, both domestically and internationally. And he has successfully applied for a lot of national patents, as well as scientific achievements, altogether 13 of them, as well as 2 of its projects have also been recognized at the national level. He has won 2 second prize and 3 prize, as well as the 3rd prize for its thesis at the national level. And Professor and researcher Wang Jin will deliver a presentation on the topic of chemical utilization and active compounds of the bamboo leaves. Dr. Wang Jin, please. Dear leaders, dear experts, dear friends, dear colleagues, good afternoon. Great appreciation to the organizing committee of the conference for inviting me to be here. And thank you very much, Professor Tang, for your kind words. So I'd like to share with you my presentation on the chemical utilization and active compounds of bamboo leaves. I will mainly talk about the utilization of chemicals, and I will focus on these 4 aspects. The first is background information. Well, it is known to all that China is a nation of bamboo distribution center, and it has the largest area, that is about more than 6.4 million hectares. But we have not been fully utilized the bamboo resources, and we know that bamboo is quite rich in the flavonoid, and that is a kind of a powder, a brown yellow powder, and it is also a kind of antioxidant in the bamboo leaves and extracted from the bamboo leaves. And this material, or this chemical, is quite similar to those materials we can find in a lot of vegetables and blueberry, and the flavonoid is very important for our health, for our body health, and bamboo leaves can be regarded as a herb, a kind of herb in China with a history of more than thousands of years. In 2004, the bamboo leaf flavonoid was listed as the national standard, was incorporated into the national standard as a kind of a food antioxidant, and it has been widely used in foods. For example, in all these pictures, you can see we have the bamboo beer, bamboo drink, and the many other healthcare products with this chemical, this bamboo flavonoid, and as a kind of food antioxidant, and it is capable of blocking chain reactions of the lipid auto-oxidation, and its main contents are listed in this table, and its total flavonoid is about 32%, and the total lactone is about 15%, as well as the ash 1.2%, and phenolic acid 7.9%. The second part of my presentation will be about the compounds isolated or extracted from bamboo leaves. So why do we focus on bamboo leaves? Because bamboo leaves is very important. In many Chinese classic medicine and medical works, we realized that bamboo leaves can be widely used, and it can also help us to release ourselves from from high temperature, and it is very beneficial in terms of diuresis and a lot of chemicals we found in bamboo leaves really triggered our project of research. So our project group has been focusing on a lot of bamboos. For example, we have the bambusa, as well as the Pleoblastus and Amarus, and so on. And we have prepared a lot of samples. We have also separated it for the test to test its spectrum. And then we have also done we have also tested altogether 76 compounds, as well as 11 new compounds by the NMR spectra technology, as well as UV and MS technology. And I've also mentioned that we have found some new chemicals with a very special structure that is quite rare. And you can see that is the Americin A. We have found a new skeleton compound, and you can see it is quite like a vitamin C in terms of the structure. So according to our judgment, we believe that it is quite active in the to be as an antioxidant. And according to our analysis, and we have done the DHT analysis, we found that it is almost twice that amount of vitamin C. So all these new compounds and these new skeleton compounds are quite useful and quite potential. And we are still exploring this direction with more efforts being devoted to this project. And on this picture, you can see a lot of structures of the compounds, and actually these are 10 compounds. And they are either flavonoid or other types of compound. And for this new compound, apart from this new compound, we also have a compound already covered by the media. For example, the lutein and these derivatives were also found and further studied for their potential antioxidant, and they are quite important, and they can serve as anti-inflammatory components, as well as the other purposes. These 8 compounds are flavonoid with trypsin as the parent nucleus, and they can also be anti-inflammatory, anti-allergic, antivirus properties. And these 9 compounds are also separated, and actually they are flavonoids with an epigenin as the parent nucleus. They can use that as herbs, and they can also be anti-inflammatory and anti-tumor purposes. According to a lot of reports in recent years, you can find all these compounds being mentioned. And these 5 flavorants with quercetin as a parent nucleus, it is also very important because it is anti-inflammatory and anti-microbial and anti-diabetics, antioxidant and anti-cancer. And actually, we can find these healthcare products with this quercetin component inside. We are doing all these researches because we want to provide clues for companies in their business operation. For example, if companies want to find some materials and raw materials to serve as the ingredient or the components for healthcare products, and they can find them inside.
同时呢，我们也发现了一些香怒素类化合物。对于之前这些发现的新化合物也好，还有一些已知的化合物，进行了统计的一个分析，把它归到这个
Coumarin and its metabolic pathways, and this is mainly based on the phenylpropane, and a lot of reactions and of enzymes and can produce many other components of flavonoids and many other compounds. And number 3, we have screened the active compounds from the bamboo leaf, for example, the antioxidant flavonoids from the bamboo leaves, so that we can realize which one is more active or which species is more active. And we are using this technology of isoorientin, and you can see what is marked by number 2 is very active according to our research, and it means that it is more effective as a typical TLC photography of standards and extras from the different species of bamboo colorized with the DPPH, and we detested 2 types of or 2 kinds of derivatives. And next, we conducted more experiments based on animals to test its biological activity, and it is believed that we might stand a higher possibility of doing that. So we have used these rabbits to test the bioactive components. And this slide shows the HPLC chromatograph of plasma samples for different time periods. It is very interesting. After 20 minutes, we can find some peaks. And as time goes by, these peaks of the metabolism effective will disappear after 12 hours. And we are very interested in this huge change. We have also analyzed these 3 compounds, among which 2 are in a very special structure, and the other is a derivative of the epigenin. And for these compounds extracted from the bamboo leaf, and we have also done many other researches and studies. And we have found that this might be a target for obesity and cancer. The FAS might be a target for obesity and cancer, and we found a special compound of suppressing the combination of the FAS. And for different varieties of bamboo, and especially the bamboo emerus, we have further analyzed its structure and components, and we found a great difference in terms of the isorentin, orentin, and so on. As for the maculosois, we found the number to be about more than 968. And this is a clue for us to prepare for its compound and the extraction of its compound. And next is about bamboo tea and bamboo wine. We have also done some exploration in this direction. For example, the bamboo leaves can be used to make bamboo tea. And in China, especially in South China, in mountainous areas where they have a lot of bamboos, they would like to pick the bamboo leaves and to cook tea when the weather is very hot. So this is the process of how bamboo tea can be made. You have to select the leaf and then clean it, dry it. And this is a whole process so that we can have the samples of bamboo tea. And you can see the final picture is how the bamboo leaf are being cooked to make a cup of tea. And we have also been focusing on the flavonoids and as well as its evaporative compounds from the bamboo leaves. And according to our analysis, when the bamboo teas are cooked into a cup of tea, some of its flavors as the grass might be removed so that the flavor will be greatly improved. And the active flavonoid has not been greatly changed. Next is bamboo wine. Bamboo wine is a kind of alcoholic drink. And in the market, we have some projects like bamboo wine. But we have also done the market research as well as the analysis of the samples, and we found that the content of alcohol might fluctuate a lot, so is the content of flavonoid. It means that their quality cannot be 100% guaranteed, and we want to address this issue. So we have done analysis of the procedure of making bamboo wine, and we have tried to improve this process. For example, we can add some of the extracted components from the bamboo wine from the bamboo leaf into the bamboo wine. And after we optimize the process, we have successfully developed a new product. And we have also certified this product with quality, so that the contents of isorentin and isovitaxin in bamboo wine would be more than 5 mg per ml, so that the quality of the product will be ensured to be stable and controllable. This way, we can also ensure quality released to the market to be of high quality. And this is our family photo of our research team. Great appreciation to all of our team members for their dedication. We have a lot of postgraduate students. They have been working very hard. So thank you very much. This is my presentation. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thank you, Researcher Wang. Thank you for your presentation. You have done a lot, and you have briefed us on your background, your team, major compounds detected and verified in bamboo leaves, and as well as the activity analysis and application in product. And I believe you have recorded a very positive progress. Well, thank you very much. And If you have any questions, we might save all these questions for the final session. And next, we will invite Li Xuetao from the Shenzhen Golden Base Biotech Company, General Manager Li Xuetao, to deliver his reports, who has been dedicated to the medical research of bamboo as well as the industrial application of bamboo. And globally speaking, he is also part of the founder of the alliance and of the application of bamboo. He is also a council member to the National Bamboo Committee. He is also one of the top 10 young leaders of Shenzhen. And his team has been dedicated to this market for 20 years, and they have been working with the Hawaii University and the Sun Yat-sen University to conduct research and to extract components from bamboo leaves. And this can also be used for the medical purposes, and it has been proved that it can prevent diabetes and as well as the breast cancer. And they have also released more than 30 papers and theses in international academic journals. And they have done a lot of research in medical analysis and of the benefits of bamboo, and they have applied for more than 30 patents and IPR to proving the great potentiality of bamboo. And according to his reports, we will better understand the application of bamboo extract in food and medicine. Well, thank you very much. I'm so glad to deliver my presentation under the topic of application of bamboo extract in food and medicine. Well, first of all, great appreciation to the organizer of our conference for inviting me to this platform to deliver my presentation. Thank you for this opportunity. Please share your screen. Thank you, Mr. Li. Okay, so wait for a minute, please. Wait for a minute, please. I'm still waiting for a response.
So we know that bamboo is fed on pandas are fed on bamboo, and the panda has lived on the earth for more than 8 million years. And ever since 1997, we have started the research on bamboo.
对不起啊，正在。
Sorry, we can't hear you clearly. Please check the internet connection.
节奏共享有点缓慢，上面显示是正在共享窗口。
主要是李总那边感觉是李总那边网络不好。
网是我看我调整一下，对不起，让大家都在哪。
切换吗？
全国。
好。
应该是完全。
好，那么因为先调试一下，这边嘛，先从下面由第4位报告人来做报告。第4位报告人是国际驻村中心的李志强也。
And so since Mr. Li's network is not very good, so we will invite the next speaker, Mr. Li Zhiqiang from the International Center for Bamboo and Rattan. And he is mainly specialized in the chemical research as well as the extraction of components as well as the sectrification technology for bamboo materials, and he has presided over 4 international and domestic projects, and he has been part of the 12th 5-year plan as well as the 13th 12th 5-year plan. He has released academic paper, more than 30 of them in domestic and foreign journals, and he has successfully applied for 10 invention patents, and he has been part of the research project for the degradation of chemicals, and he has been participating in the formulation of 3 sets of national standards, and he has won a lot of awards for the scientific and technological projects, and he is regarded as a leading talent by the Ministry of Grassland and Forestry. And now we will invite Mr. Li Zhiqiang to deliver his speech. And his topic is the chemical preparation of bamboo-derived biodegradable plastics. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for introduction, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to deliver my presentation, my academic presentation on the biodegradable characteristics of bamboo. And the great highlight of this conference is to take bamboo as a priority. So I am very glad to deliver this keynote speech or this presentation. So I will focus on the chemical preparation And first of all, my resume. And I studied, and my master degree was get from the Polyphony National Engineering Research Center, the Sino Beijing Research Institute of Chemical Industry. And for my doctor degree, I studied in the China Academy of Forestry from the Department of the Woods and Forestry and Woods. And my present research interests include the biodegradable plastics of bamboo, the certification of bamboo cellulose, as well as the preparation of biothermal ethanol and lactic acid from bamboo, as well as the extraction and utilization of bamboo, as well as the catalytic liquefaction of bamboo. So mainly it is about how to replace the plastics by bamboo. I will focus on these four perspectives. The first is the research background. The second is the preparation of PLA. And number three is about the bamboo fuel materials. Number four is conclusions and outlook. So the first is the research background. We know that plastics mainly come from resins, as which is the main component, together with additives such as plasticizers, fillers, and lubricants, and so on. And the most important one is the PP, or the polypropylene. And the PP, it comes from petroleum, and then we can have the propylene, and from propylene we can get polypropylene, and after we add more chemicals into that, we can have plastics. For example, we have the straws. Most of the straws are produced by plastics, and we can consume a lot of plastics. And for example, the consumption of plastic straws in China is between 400 million and 500 million, and the annual consumption of the straw made of polypropylene produced in China is about 100 tons. And in 2020, China's polypropylene wire drawing it has its output reaching about 9 billion tons, and the production of straws accounted for 1.2%. And next is about plastics. And this PP is the most representative type of plastics. But now we want to replace steel with the plastics, and replace wood with the plastics, and more than 80% and 90% of plastics can be used for industrial purposes. And plastics can be transparent and can be white, and you can add different colors into the plastics. For example, you can also have these black plastics, which is often used as a bag to contain the rubbish and garbage. And if we can properly dispose of plastics, there won't be a lot of negative impact on the environment. But the plastics are hardly degradable, and its degradation rate is not very fast, and we still have to use some other pathways. For example, the treatment method of biodegradable disposable plastic products and biogas and composting to do it. And next is about substituting bamboo for plastics. And as I said before, the PP, either PE or PVC, are generally polymerized through CC convertant bonds between monomers. So it is very difficult to destroy this high bonds energy polymer chain. And in the natural environment, it takes at least hundreds of years for it to be degraded. So in the natural environment, more than hundreds of years. If you throw it into the environment or into the ocean, there will be environmental pollution. And the next is bioplastic degradation. And we want to break the bonds, or the PLA bonds. so that we can get a certain of asset from this reaction. And we want to make it biologically degradable so that it can be absorbed by the nature. And the next is we want to replace plastics with bamboo. Bamboo is a very good raw material. It has its fiber, and it can also be used to produce polylactic acid and cellulose acetate. And for the polylactic acid material, it has a lot of advantages. And for example, it has a high strength, high modulus features and plasticity and good biodegradability as well as chemical stability. And the next is cellulose acetate, and it has very good optical properties, and it is easy to be shaped. And China's production of this material is about 160,000 tons. So next is about the process, and the first is how to prepare the lactic acid, or how to produce lactic acid. We have to use maize and to crush it, to grind it into powders, and then we have to go through a lot of other processes. We know that maize can be used as a crop or as a food, so we just want to change the method. For example, we want to use the lignocellulose to produce this lactic acid, and we can use this together, mix this together for this process of saccharification. And then we can use some bacteria for the fermentation so that we can get this lactic acid. This is how bamboo can be used to produce lactic acid. And the second is a pre-processing method. We have a lot of methods and approaches, and we have the physical pre-processing, chemical pre-treatment, biological pre-treatment, and the ionic liquid pre-treatment. And there are several key steps, and we know that the cost is very high, and it is very difficult to bring this cost down. And next is that we are using the dioxin for the pre-treatment, and this can promote the 100% process of saccharification, so that we can go to the fermentation process. For the fermentation process, we have used the simultaneous saccharification and the fermentation approach, which can save time. And we can also do step-by-step, and for this chemical composition analysis of substrates, we found that under different fermentation conditions, we have different solutions. And we want to get the maximized amount of lactic acid, and we can also have different approaches to polymerize and polymerize these substrates, and this is the enzymic hydrolysis of cellulose in substrates. But for the lactic acid bacteria, it can absorb a lot of nutrition in the bamboo, but the rate is not very high. So these technical pathways have been proved feasible, and it is feasible to use bamboo as a raw material to transform and prepare the lactic acid. Well, the pre-treatment of bamboo with this composite solvent can remove the hemicellulose and lignin, and greatly increase the cellulose content in the substrate up to 90%. And we found that this process of preparing the industrial cellulose acetate might be highly polluting, so we want to pre-treat this raw material and use it for the deposition, and then we can wash it and extract it and dry it and grind it into powders so that we can get the final product, which can be used for industrial purpose, or it can also be used as a package or packaging material. And these are two processes. The first is pre-processing, and we know that the composition and the structure of the lignocellular cellulosis raw material are very complicated, and cellulose is cross-linked with hemicellulose and lignin, and so that's making the chemical process very difficult. And our process in this research is to make it substitute it at the percentage of about 2.95% or 2.94%, so that we can get what we want. And we still have problems in the process of preparing cellulose and lactic from bamboo. For example, the bamboo fiber pulp has a cellulose content of more than 95%, commonly used in industry, and it is used as raw material for cellulose acid production. And generally speaking, the cellulose content of bamboo is about 40 to 50%. Preparation of cellulose acetate from the biomass materials require pretreatment so that we can improve the availability of cellulose. And for this whole experimental process, we are using this bamboo to pre-treat and treat bamboo so that we can extract the cellulose active membrane from this bamboo. And we can also get this membrane. And we can also compare the different structure or the composition of bamboo before and after they change. And this is about the degree of substitution. You can see it is above 2.5. And the pretreatment reduces the aggregation of bamboo cellulose. And this is the comparison of raw materials and what we get, or the between the raw material and the cellulose and acetate. And you can see we are comparing this. And for the bottom line, that you can see that is quite in the color of yellow, because that is when we were using the bamboo powders. Next is a summary and outlook. As for the outlook, according to the properties of the membrane, we can continue to explore its application and how to apply it in other scenarios. And we have to further explore the comprehensive utilization of cellulose, and as well as the lignin and hemicellulose, as well as the production has to be more cost effective. And we have to conduct evaluation of the bamboo-derived, bamboo-based or the bio-based product to improve the economic feasibility. And we can also do the research on the lignin, as well as the research on the selection of the lactic acid fermentation strains. And we have different strains and different Yuga status. We have to further screen them and to optimize this process, as well as the research on the hemicellulose. And it has also to be further promoted because we are exploring how to use hemicellulose to degrade this whole for the degradation in this whole process. And in this way, we can get the wood sugar and other components. So this is my presentation. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thank you, Researcher Li. Thank you for your presentation. And Researcher Li has focused on the replacement of plastics by bamboo. And he has taken the chemical perspective about how to use bamboo materials to produce substitutions of plastics, and he mainly focused on two aspects or two pathways. And the first is how to use bamboo to produce the polylactic acid, and the second is how to produce the membrane. You have done a lot, and I believe you have got a very good achievement, especially for the cellulose and acetate, and you have to do more work, for example, how to reduce energy consumption and how to reduce your cost, and we have learned a lot from you. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Li, are you ready now? So we still can't hear you, Mr. Li. So can you try to share your screen with us first? Sorry, we can't hear you.
正在共享。其实我的那个 PPT 已经发出去了，因为网络问题啊，没来得及的，就是来讲。那么3个页第一个关键点呢，大家听得到吗？
Sorry, it's still interrupted. We cannot hear your voice.
共同做产学研的时候，
So the sentences are all broken. We can't get anything.
因为竹子本身呢，在中国及东南亚的话是食用
So
了。
we realized that actually bamboo has been a common food for countries in East and Southeast China, and actually in folk areas, for example, for some ethnic groups, for example, Miao group and also Hui group, they adopt a lot of bamboo resources. For example, when the newborn have the problem,
中国上我们收集啊这些古老的医书偏方啊，针对于竹子的应用的时候，我
and
们
we have collected a lot of recipes and also medical records with the utilization of bamboo and about the extraction of the bamboo. When we did the experiment with the mice, we feed them with bamboos for 3 weeks, and then we test the occurrence rate of the breast cancer, and also we did the antioxidant test. And so during this process, we generated the conclusion that for all the mice that were fed with a bamboo extract, the breast cancer rate was reduced by 44%. And also, the occurrence rate of other cancer was also reduced by 67%. And we can see that the activity has increased by 63%. So that means there's an efficient regulatory effect of the BEX on the sulfur transferase activity. Because for most of the antioxidants are produced by the Western pharmaceuticals, and there are rarely any adoption of the bamboo extracts used in this process. So we have the feeling that the plants, especially the bamboo, which shows special property for the antioxidant, will become a new resource for the oncology research. And because in China, actually, we have abundant bamboo resource, which accounts for 27 to 28% of the world production. That means there is a great opportunity for us with the independent research, and it will bring a new direction for our future research. And also, I believe in the world oncology research, which shows special advantage over other countries. And the second point I'd like to make is about the bamboo extract can help with the avoidance of obesity, and it also has positive effects on the treatment for patients with diabetes. We also do the animal test because back in back in 2003 to 2004, actually, we began to explore our US market. And we established a partnership with University of Hawaii. And so my second point is about the effective treatment with bamboo extract for obesity and also diabetes. So we have found that it's very interesting that the bamboo extract can reduce the inflammation on the high-fat mice. Because it is playing a major role here with the transferase in the liver of the mouse. And we have already released several papers on the journals in America and in Europe. And during this process, back in 2004 until 2012, we have done sufficient research and we have achieved and collected important data throughout this process. And I think that we have a lot of opportunity to further discuss about this with the previous two speakers. And so back to the inhibition of the development of diabetes. The results of our animal trial shows that about 20% of the bamboo polysaccharides combined with 10% protein content can provide a higher level of active substance. So I think due to the abundance of the bamboo resources in China, and it is easy to get, and it has the advantage of low cost. So I think the profit rate can be extremely high. And so our research actually indicates a new way to develop a eco-friendly way of pharmaceutical production. And with repeated animal trials, we further studied about the application of bamboo extract in food industry. And this was also one of our primary targets, because it is only when we can reach a certain production volume can we bring the cost down by a large margin. And so we have spent over 17 to 18 years in the North America market, and we have communicated with the top enterprises, and we have also reached out to the well-known laboratories, providing them with our indicators and the results of our results. So the goal is to promote the application of bamboo extracts. And one of our early partnership was with a food company from South Korea, but this company was in Hawaii. It's called Kuka Food. And we try to apply the bamboo extract into rice, because back in the 1990s, when we traveled to Xishuangbanna in Yunnan province in China, we have seen that there is a typical local food that is called the bamboo rice, because Yunnan is also a favorable tourist destination. And the bamboo rice is also a very delicious food that is favored by tourists both from China and abroad. So we were trying to figure out how to bring this delicious food to other countries, or how to have it in other countries. And this is how we get the first spark of ideas. And we begin to offer this product to the middle and high-end supermarkets. So this was provided to the US from 2004, and it is enjoying a very high sales volume even until today. And so actually for Americans and Europeans, they have a really strict standard for the assumption of salt. So they are trying to find a alternative for pure salt, which has richer taste and which is more nutritious. So we have done some tests by adding the natural bamboo extract into the sea salt, and this actually offers a special fragrance to it. And right now we have one production center in California, and also this was led by our partner from Hawaii. And so they begin to produce the natural sea salt without any pollution, and then add the natural bamboo into it. And then in order to solve the high cost of logistics, because Hawaii is on an island, of course, so we wanted to bring it to even more places. And so actually a price war began between the original sea salt with our special bamboo salt. And then some more examples about the application into the food industry. For example, the noodles. We know that Americans also consume a lot of flour. What we are doing is to add the natural bamboo extract into the flour and then add water into it. So you get a dough as a mixture of the flour with the bamboo extracts. And then we cooperate with a noodle production center from California, and their product is sold through Amazon to all over the world. And through the application of bamboo extract into food industry, the most challenging market is of course the US market. And we went through a lot of obstacles before we get to today. And so we have offered a sample to the North America. This is like our pilot program, but our goal is about how to seize the opportunity for the Chinese market in the next 10 years. So, for example, in Guizhou, just as Mr. Wang has mentioned about the bamboo wine or the bamboo liquor. And this is when we pay special attention to establishing our own brand, and also we pay attention to the high quality of our product. And so we are now doing making some attempts in the Asia market, Southeast Asian market, and this is why we'd like to see if there's any potential opportunity for us to work together with BARC, and I'm pretty confident about this market opportunity. And so this is basically my explanation about the application of bamboo and also bamboo extracts in the food industry, and also the in the medical field. So of course, we want to benefit the farmers and the smallholders from the southern part of China who plants bamboos. And thank you for listening. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Li, for your sharing. So actually, Mr. Li has mentioned about the application of food extracts in the food and medicine. and especially about the development of food products as well as the exploration in the North American market. He has shared with us a lot of their previous experiences, and he also covered specific samples, for example, the bamboo salt and also the bamboo noodles. But due to the time limit, we will have to close our session here, and that's the end of the presentation time. So right now we have 10 minutes for the Q&A. And I think we already got some questions here, but we have limited time. And so I have collected a couple of questions. So let's go through that one by one. So my first question goes to Mr. Lee.
And presently, we have had the market and market events as well as the consumer groups for the bamboo wines. However,
不是很大。那么从您这个角度来说，对于市场的拓展，
however, the market share is not very big. So what is your suggestion in terms of the R&D of a product? My suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, because we have learned from the United States and America and the European countries. We have to promote the industrial development of bamboo. First of all, we have to set standards. As long as we have unified standards, the market will always have high quality products. Standards are very important, and as you know, we are formulating such standards. Apart from that, we have to establish brand clusters or a cluster of key brands and important brands. And we also have to promote the coordination of this market. Otherwise, we cannot ensure quality of products released to the market. Number 3 is on top of the policies introduced by local governments to support development of bamboo industry, we have to figure out how to utilize the new tools for marketing of bamboo products. And we have to liberate our minds, and we have to figure out the right direction. And as long as we are in the right direction, we can make a commitment. And at the same time, you have to really love this industry. You have to love bamboo. Otherwise, without this passion, you cannot go very far. So these are 3 of my observations. This is why I can be in this sector for 26 or 27 years. And this is the direction I still want to go in the future. And I'd like to share with you my observations so that we can work together to ensure the application of bamboo in medicine and in health food, and we can work together to expand the market. Thank you. Thank you, Zhang. Thank you very much. Next question is to Professor Zhao. You have done a lot of research about the jingle, and based on your knowledge, what can we learn from jingle research if we want to develop a bamboo industry? Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your question. I just want to share my personal feelings or my personal observations based on our knowledge. Forestry resources are very valuable. For example, a lot of woody plants, for example, jingle trees, and also bamboo. Bamboo is a great treasure and a great fortune. But if you want to develop and make products out of bamboo, maybe first of all, we have to figure out or tap into specific features and specific properties in terms of active components in bamboo so that we can make it more competitive and distinguish bamboo products from other products at the market. So first of all, I think we have to better understand what is the composites and active composites inside bamboo? Secondly, actually, I have learned a lot from Mr. Lee's presentation about his products and application of bamboo, and I think we have to further promote R&D, and we have to focus and attach our R&D with market demands. This is a second observation. Number 3 is that when we are doing and promoting the development of healthy products, we cannot just have some simple idea of processing it and then finish it. And we cannot only focus on preliminary processing. Even though we even though we have very good materials, but if we only stop at some preliminary packaging, that is not the key, because there are a lot of core issues to be addressed. Otherwise, this whole process will be inhibited. And I am doing my research about bamboo, and I also would like to learn more from Mr. Li and Mr. Tong for its commercialization. We have to focus on how to address problems and how to expand and tap into its functionality so that we can break bottlenecks, create more technical pathways so that the people would like to try and test the bamboo products. For example, we have the bamboo noodles, bamboo rice, bamboo wine, bamboo drink, bamboo tea. I believe this is quite promising. I'm very hopeful for that. And I also want to encourage everyone to actually love bamboo, because with passion, we can make a lot of achievements. And next question is to researcher Li. You've talked about the bamboo straws. That is a very important product for bamboo to replace plastics. But will there be some bad odor or some a very unpleasant odor? Or when, for example, if I'm using a bamboo straw to drink hot milk tea, will there be some negative impact due to the high temperature? And also, will there be some problems with the polylactic acid? What is your solution to that? Well, I think, generally speaking, the polylactic acid is okay. It should be okay. If we are using bamboo to make straws, this is actually only in the preliminary stage, and we have to do more later. And in this sector now, the bamboo comb can be used for this purpose. And we have a very good process of producing polylactic acid, but we still have to make some improvement and optimization. And I believe, generally speaking, this optimization is feasible and possible. Well, thank you. We still have 2 minutes. Another question for researcher Wang, Mr. Wang, just to make it short. And last year, 2 ministries released a document on promoting development of the bamboo industry. By 2025, when the industrial value of bamboo should hit a target, and it should also hit 1 trillion RMB by 2035. So what do you think we can do to realize that target? Well, thank you for your question. Mr. Li, Mr. Zhao all mentioned that China is an aging country. We have to promote development of big health, especially taking good care of those elderly people. We have to launch more health products and medicine. For example, this these materials and all these extractive materials from bamboo might be used for this purpose. And if I hope we can build up our own brands, realize our advantage, and expand the market share, so that in the future, it will serve as a pillar for the national economic growth. Well, due to the time limit, we will close this session. Before I announce the closure of this session, I just want to introduce Dr. Yao Xi, who is also the co-chair of our session. And a great appreciation to the technical team. And we have run into some issues, for example, the bad network, but thank you for addressing all these issues. So altogether, we will say thank you very much and goodbye.